Good evening. I'm going to miss being with you in Shul this Shabbos. There's so much that I want to share with you. But a few words to take with you. In this week's Parsha, the Torah tells us, Odom ki yakriv mikem korban lashem. The Torah talks about a single individual who brings a sacrifice to Hashem. Min haboker u'min hatzon takrivu es korbanchem. From an animal should you bring your sacrifice. But although the Torah is talking about one individual's sacrifice, it uses the words at the end, your sacrifice, in plural. Why the change? Why plural if it's only one? Rav Moshe Sternbuch, Shlita, answers with the Medrash Rabbi on this week's Parsha, Dalet Zayin. Familiar Medrash tells us, Se Pezuri Yisrael. The Jewish people are compared to a sheep. Maseh, just like a sheep. If it's hit on the head or any one of its limbs, he feels it in his entire body. Kach Yisrael, so too the Jewish people. If one person hurts, we all feel the pain. If one person does something, we're all affected. What does that mean? How is that? Tamar Devara explains this and says that as much as we all have our own individual and beautiful neshama, our own beautiful, unique soul, but all of our souls are part of one collective neshama, one big neshama of Am Yisrael, the entire Jewish people. What a person does affects not only our own soul, the soul of every single Jew in our nation. When a person falls, errs, and sullies his neshama, his soul, it brings down the soul of everyone. More poignantly, when we fix, elevate, atone for our own blemishes, we uplift and we polish and we atone for that collective soul of Am Yisrael. This is what it means, says Rav Moshe Sternbuch, that when each person brought his korban, it was everyone's korban, because it uplifted everyone. Rav Aaron Kotler Zatzal takes this to an entirely different level. Says Rav Aaron on the famous Rambam in Hilchos Tshuva, Perek Gimel Mishnah Halacha Dalet. The Rambam we're familiar with says, Tzarech kol odom sheyira atzmo kol hashana. A person should view himself the entire year as if he is chatziyov zakai v'chatziyov chayev, as if we're right in the balance. We're half good, half bad. And not only that, v'chein kol ha'olam kulo, the entire world is right in the middle. Half good, half bad, half meritus, half not. And we should view it as if our next action can tip the scales to put me into zechus, merit, and the entire nation into merit. Rav Aaron asks the question that we're all bothered by. Isn't this far-fetched? What does this mean? Can I really think that this action that I'm about to do is going to tip the scales for my entire life and for the life of the entire nation? What are the odds of that? Can I believe in such odds? Says Rav Aaron Kotler, yes, you do all the time. A person, all of us, will believe and rely and act upon the slimmest of odds and of chances if it's something that he really cares about. When we don't care so much about something, so then if the odds are slim, we're we're not going to go for it. But when there's a lottery with millions and millions of dollars, what did I see recently? Annually, 90 million people buy lottery tickets in America alone annually, generating some $70 billion in revenue. What are they doing? What are we spending? What are the odds? Tiny, tiny, minuscule. But every week they go out and they buy that lottery ticket because maybe, because you care about it. And conversely, when something, God forbid, is very terrible at stake, when a person is confronting a medical surgery or procedure, or a medicine they have to take, and there's a precaution and there's a risk, the risk could be a very, very small risk. But if they're not pushed, they're going to be afraid. They're not going to take it. Why? Because what we're risking is something that is so great, a life. Come on, it's what and what. I once heard an anesthesiologist come in and, prep my father, all of a sudden, before one of his procedures. And he starts going into every single statistical infinitesimal. Who worries about it? People worry about it when you care about something. We live in a world today in which there's so much at stake. I have 3 takeaways that I took from these Mamori Chazal, from these words of our sages. Number 1, when there's so much at stake, when there's so much that needs, there's so much need, there's so much pain, there's so much suffering, there's so much going on all around us that if there's anything at all, we have to view it as if every action, every tefillah, tshuva, tefillah, tzedakah, every step that we take, we know that it all does make a difference, that it all impacts on this collective neshama. But we have to view it as if it could make the difference because there's so much at stake and there's so much that we need right now to work for. This should motivate us. It should empower us to do something. We can't do everything, but we can do something. And that something matters. That something makes a big difference. Number 2, to me, this says how important it is for us to do everything we can to keep ourselves and others out there safe. How easy is it to say, so I'll go out a little bit, I'll go out careful, I'll go out this, I'll read this, I'll just meet this one, I'll just meet that one, I'll just go here, I'll just go there. There's danger, there's real danger. When things are serious, then even the smallest risk needs to be felt and considered in a whole different dimension, in a whole different weight. But 3, on a more positive note, what I take from this is, how many times do we read about people who do these and did these great, grandiose, amazing things? They save lives in the Holocaust and in times of this, and we read about people today even that are going out and risking themselves and their families to be able to be on the front lines and help for everyone else. And we ask ourselves, what big things do I do? Think about it. What a schus, what a merit each and every one of us has as we shelter alone, as we hunker down. Why? We're hunkering down to save lives. We actually have a situation where each and every one of us, God forbid, could place so many others at risk. And each and every one of us is now all day saving lives by staying safe and staying alone. And it's not easy. We're doing it with Mesiras Nefesh. We're either fighting one of two things. If all of us are home and alone or with a few people, we're either fighting boredom or bedlam. One of the two. Some of us are going out of their minds trying to occupy themselves, perhaps. Some of us are in homes that are stressed, and stressed for many good and obvious and real reasons. It's hard to stay and shelter. And it's hard to do it, the simcha, to do it with happiness, to uplift ourselves, do whatever we need to maintain our own spirits, and to uplift those that are around us. Simcha. Yes, we have to feel the pain, daven for the pain. We understand the seriousness. But at the same point in time, we can't spend all day crying. And we certainly, if there are people around us, we need to be leaders in our homes, each and every one of us, and do everything we can to keep the spirits up and strong. And in so doing, we are literally saving lives. We're going to meet soon. As Hashem, God willing, we're going to get past this. We're going to get through this. We'll meet, hopefully, on the streets of Yerushalayim. We'll be dancing speedily and soon. You know what they say? Daddy, what did you do in the war? When we meet soon, when we all come out of our homes and gather together one with the other, and they ask us, what did you do in the war? We're going to feel so good because we're going to say, yes, I contributed. I put my tefillah, my prayer. I did my step of tshuva. I did my step of tzedakah. I gave. I thought of others. I reached out to others. I called others. As much as we can, every step is so significant. It has to be real, and we have to take what we need for ourselves, and we have to take what we need for our families. But take strength in the fact that we matter. Every little thing matters. And whatever we're doing will bring the Yeshua. It will bring us closer. Millions of soldiers fought in the Great War. Every single one of them contributed. How Ashreinu that at least we're fortunate to be able to be doing something, what we can. Have a good Shabbos, have a meaningful Shabbos. Let us join together in our apartness, in our separateness, and see this through to the end. Thank you. Good Shabbos.